All right. We are live.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Do you have to allow people in, Byron, or are they in now?
No, there if whoever was waiting, it looks like maybe they left us because it doesn't say how many people. It doesn't say, it says 0 views, which is horrifying. Oh, hey, look, we got 40 concurrent viewers. Ha, and one
Okay.
like. We're good. We can start.
All right. Okay. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I think this is a good opportunity for us to go over all the race details. There's a few changes from this year than in previous years, but also it's a great opportunity for you to ask any questions. So Byron's going to be monitoring the chat, and if there's anything like any pressing issues or anything on the topic of what I'm already talking about, Byron, feel free to just interrupt me. Otherwise, we can do questions and answers at the end of it. This shouldn't take too long, but I do want to make sure that everybody goes into race week or race weekend fully prepared. And if there's anything I can do to, ease your worries or ease your mind, then I'm happy to do so. So let's get started. So first of all, I hope you're all excited. The weekend is shaping up to be a fantastic weekend. Weather looks like
Jeff, you froze. I don't know why he froze. Jeff, you froze.
Can you hear me?
You froze in our little meeting. You need to get closer to your Wi-Fi thingy. Sorry.
Am I still frozen?
You're coming back.
Okay, tell me when I'm unfrozen.
You're unfrozen now. Yeah,
I'm thawed.
you're thawed out.
Okay, let me know if I freeze again.
Yeah.
Um, the weather looks like it's going to be decent, not really hot. Not the smoke should be gone by then. Looking like the high is 26 or 27, which is, that's certainly not cool, but it's relatively cool in comparison to some of the years that we've had previously. It also doesn't look like it's going to be getting cold in the night like some years it has. So it's looking like maybe a low of 18 in the night and a chance of a little bit of rain. But at last I checked, it was about 50% chance and only about a millimeter. So nothing really that we're too concerned about. But we do have a contingency plan in place for rain, which I will talk about later on in the live stream. So first of all, hopefully everybody knows that the race is at the Dundas Valley Conservation Area. Every year we do get some people that go to the wrong gate of the Dundas Valley Conservation Area. They go to where the Sulphur Springs Trail Race starts, which is at Morgan Firestone Arena. That is not where this race takes place. This race takes place at 650 Governors Road in Dundas. And that is the main entrance to the Dundas Valley Conservation Area, where the gate is. Once you're in there, it's very easy to navigate yourself to the parking lot. There's really no other place to go other than the parking lot. So you can just follow the signs. Let's talk a little bit about the race day schedule, a race weekend schedule, I suppose. So on Saturday, I'll talk about race kit pickup in just a moment, but for the actual race on Saturday, 6 a.m. participants can start to enter the Dundas Valley Conservation Area. Please don't arrive before 6 a.m. because you won't be able to get in, and it just backs up onto Governor's Road, which is, that's a real problem. That's a busy road. We don't want cars backed up onto that road. So you can start to arrive at 6 a.m. At 7 o'clock a.m., the 100-mile race will start. And from 6 o'clock till 7 o'clock during race kit pickup, we're going to reserve that for 100-mile racers. Once they've all checked in, then we'll start taking everybody else. But our priority at the beginning is to check in the 100-mile racers because their race does start 1 hour before everybody else's. Then at 8 a.m., the 6-hour race, the 12-hour day race, the 24-hour race, and the gong show races will all start. And then that's pretty much wrapping up the race starts for the day until 8 o'clock p.m., which is when the 12-hour day race will end and the 12-hour night race will start. So we have about half the participants running on Saturday, and maybe slightly more than half. And then on the Sunday, we have the other half of the participants who are running in either the 7K or the 21K race. So participants can enter the park at 7 a.m. starting on Sunday if they're running the 7K or the 21K, and both of those races will start promptly at 9 o'clock a.m. After, so the awards for the events for the 7K and 21K, we try to give those awards out as they cross right away. But for all of the timed events, and we do that for the 100-mile as well, but for all of the time-based events, we will do awards approximately 15 to 30 minutes after the race is over. And that gives participants all a chance to get back to the start finish, because they'll be scattered throughout the course at the end. And also we got to add on any extra distance that they've run. So the way that it works, and I'm going to take a minute to clarify this, because we're doing something a little bit differently than we have in previous years. So when participants go out to run their final loop of the race, and they're in a timed event. So let's say, for example, you're in the 6-hour race, and you come through the start finish and you have 20 minutes before the end of the race. Well, of course, you're not going to finish the 7-kilometer loop in 20 minutes, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out and try to get, maybe 3 extra kilometers. So when your race ends, whatever full kilometer marker you have passed, so we don't count partial kilometers, but if you've passed the 3-kilometer marker, which will be marked on the course, then we will add 3 kilometers to your race once you come back and let the chip timing company know how far you made it. We do it based on the honor system. But of course, if you say, well, I did six kilometers and you only had 15 minutes, well, there's going to be some red flags there. So we'll question that. But mostly it's based on the honor system. Now, the one change that we've made is that in previous years, we have been a little bit loose with the rule that, for example, like let's say somebody they're at 97 kilometers or 98 kilometers, and they only want to do 100. So they just need to do 2 extra kilometers. In the past, sometimes people have gone out 1 kilometer and then come back 1 kilometer and said, I've run 2 extra kilometers. But this year we're taking a harder line on this. Those 2 kilometers have to be all run in the counterclockwise direction. So in other words, if you wanted to get from 98 to 100 kilometers, you would have to run 2 full extra kilometers in the counterclockwise direction that all runners are doing. And then you could either walk back or find an alternative way back, but we're not going to count the distance, your return distance back to the start finish. Byron, do you think that makes sense, the way that I explained that?
Yep.
Yeah, so only counterclockwise kilometers will count. So you can't add on, if you go out 2 and come back 2, that still only counts as 2. It doesn't count as 4.
Correct.
So you can find a different way back. That's fine. You can find a shortcut on the way back, which there are lots of shortcut options in the Dundas Valley Conservation Area. So hopefully I explained that. If you have any questions about it, put it in the chat. I'm happy to answer it. So race kit pickup. There are 2 options for race kit pickup. You can come on the Friday evening. We'll be offering race kit pickup on site from 5 till 7 p.m. And you can also set up a small 10 by 10 tent if you wish. However, the site is, well, we say it's unsupervised over the night. We actually do have a couple people staying, but it's not their responsibility to look after your belongings. So you're doing so at your own risk. We've never had a problem in the past, but if you set anything up, you are doing so at your own risk. And absolutely do not leave any, don't bring your Wayne Gretzky rookie card and leave it there, or gold Rolex watch or anything of great value. And also, absolutely do not leave any food there, because there are certainly lots of critters that will be active in the night, and they will definitely go through your stuff if they smell food.
Hey
So
Jeff, I wasn't really listening. Where is registration? Is that at the
where
train?
is race kit pickup?
Yeah, like is that at the train station?
It's going to be right at the trail center, the start finish of the race. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So participants will park in the main parking lot, and then they just have to walk down to the trail center, which is just a couple 100 meters down the road, and that's where they can get their race kits. So
I also heard you say something about tents. Is there a designated area for the tents?
Yeah, we'll have that all marked off when they arrive, but we are going to stick to one side of the driveway that comes in. We're going to stick to, if you're heading towards the trail center, the grassy area on your right, and also we're going to all along the rail trail, the entire length of the train center in front of the rail trail they can set up tents as well. And I do have an additional option for 24-hour and 100-mile racers, which I'll talk about momentarily. So you can set stuff up. The maximum space is 10 by 10. Please be mindful that there are lots of participants, and we don't usually have any 7K or 21K participants set up tents or anything. And very few 6-hour runners do that as well, because they just use the drop bag area that we set up. But lots of 12-hour night, 24 gong show and 100-mile races will be setting up tents. So keep those tents nice and close together. And an important thing that I'm going to reiterate a couple times during this live stream is whatever you bring in, you have to bring out again. So we've had some issues with garbage being left behind in the past. It's really important. We have to maintain a good relationship with the conservation area. They've been so welcoming of us for many years, and we want to keep that relationship good. So all garbage has to leave with you. Anything that you bring has to leave with you. So maybe that changes the way that you're packing, so you're not bringing as much stuff. But we need everybody to pack out what they brought in. So that's your first option for race kit pickup, is Friday 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. And the second option is Saturday morning, race morning, or if you're racing on Sunday, Sunday morning. And you can come right up until the start of your race. There's no need to come super early. If you're doing the 12-hour night race, we will start your race kit pickup 2 hours before. So starting at 6 p.m., you can start to pick up yours, or you can pick it up the night before or first thing in the morning. But from 8 o'clock a.m. until 6 o'clock p.m., race kit pickup will be closed.
I'll have to update the volunteer thing. I have it starting at 6:30. Do that.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
6:30 is probably more realistic. I'm sure people can occupy themselves for half an hour.
Okay. We'll do that then.
Yeah. Okay. So those are your two options: Friday evening, Saturday morning. Of course, if you're available Friday, which of course not everybody is, we have people coming from out of town and out of province and out of country for this race. If you have the option of coming Friday, it certainly makes your Saturday morning a little bit less stressful. And if there's anything that you can do to make it less stressful, you should do that. So if Friday is an option for you, I strongly suggest that you come on Friday. Let's see, what else do we have here? Please note that the front gate will not be staffed until 6 a.m. on Saturday and 7 on Sunday, so 7 o'clock on Sunday. So if you arrive before then, you're just going to have to wait. And we don't want people waiting there, as I mentioned before. Entering the park after 9 p.m. So if you have crew coming to visit you during your race, or any pacers coming through, this is a problematic topic here. Like, this is always an issue every year, and the gate is closed starting at 4:30 p.m. So from 4:30 p.m. Now we have a volunteer that will be stationed there until 9 o'clock p.m. So until an hour after the start of the night race. So if you have anybody coming in to crew you in the night or anything like that, they have to be there before 9 o'clock p.m. or they won't be able to get in until the morning. So people can leave, that's not a problem, but they just can't enter the park from 9 p.m. until 7 a.m. That they won't be able to enter the park. So even if they have a conservation pass, they will be able to get in at about 6 a.m., but the pass won't work in the automated gates after 9 p.m. anyways. So just for your planning purposes, people can't come beyond 9 o'clock. They won't be able to get into the park. There is an alternate to that, and that is they could park in the neighborhood adjacent to the conservation area. So there are some streets there that they can park on, but again, you have to make sure that you're parking in designated parking spots. So I did write down the name of the streets. Yeah, they could enter on Ridgewood Boulevard, and then they could walk into the race start from there. So it would probably be not a kilometer walk, but probably not far off of that. More than 500 meters for sure. Probably 750 to a kilometer to get in from that side street there. Race theme. So we've had lots of questions about the race theme. So the race theme is Under the Sea this year, and we will have our aid station decorated with Under the Sea theme. And this is for all participants. And to be honest, it's usually more for the crews than it is participants. We do get some participants with great costumes, but that's usually more so for the shorter distance races, because people running for 12 hours or 24 hours usually don't want to do it in costume, although you can certainly change. So we will be picking somebody who we feel has the best Under the Sea costume to get a free pair of La Sportiva running shoes. That goes for your crew as well. So anybody who dresses for the theme could win a pair of running shoes.
Jeff,
Yes.
who's eligible for that contest? Is that like a Saturday or a Sunday thing?
It's for the whole weekend. We'll make the decision. Like, we'll be keeping kind of a tally,
Okay.
and a tally in the valley, and making note of who we think, and then the Happy Trails crew and volunteers will vote on who they thought was the best, and then we'll award them a pair of shoes.
That sounds great.
Okay, so parking, you don't have to pay if you're a registered athlete or if you're in the vehicle with a registered athlete. So if your crew comes with you in the morning, they're included, because at the Dundas Valley Conservation Area, access isn't based on per person, it's per vehicle. So as anyone in the vehicle with you will get into the park for free, but later spectators and crew and family will be expected to pay to get into the park. So your entry is included in your registration fee, but everybody else is expected to pay unless they have a parking pass. So here's a good opportunity for me to talk about a special parking area for 100-mile and 24-hour racers that we've never done in the past, but we're going to do this year. So the location of our previous headquarters, which is in the overflow parking lot area, we've moved that, as you're well aware, to the trail center this year. And the reason that we did that was because the conservation area eventually wants that overflow parking area to go back to nature, essentially, let it grow. They've been cutting it for many years, primarily for our race, and they want to let it grow back into like a natural habitat. But at the present time, it is still cut, and they said that we can have access to that for parking. Now, what we've decided to do is use this as a special area for our 24-hour runners and 100-mile runners who want an easy access point for their crew to set up. So you cannot set up at both the race headquarters and the overflow parking. But if you'd prefer to set up your tent and have your crew meet you in that spot, you're totally able to do that. It will be a quieter location. So if if you're hoping that your crew members are going to sleep at all, that might be an ideal location for you because it's less of the noise of race headquarters, and it's just a little bit quieter, and you don't have to carry your belongings as far because you can park right there, set up your tent right next to your vehicle if you want. Now, the downside of it is that after the race, that's a little bit of a slightly further walk back to your car and from headquarters. So, I mean, I guess you could get somebody to pick you up and bring you over. You have something to say, Byron?
Question for you.
Yes.
Do the crew, do they have in and out access? Like if they come in with a racer, can they come back? Can they leave and then come back in?
Oh, that's a great question. So within the hours of the park, they can. They just need to, when they're leaving, they can stop by the gatehouse and they can get a receipt that will allow them to come back in. That's a good question. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
So again, for 24-hour runners and 100-mile runners, you can park your vehicle and keep it there and use it as your kind of like a halfway point aid station, or it's at about 4.5 kilometers into it. So your crew can set up there instead of at race headquarters if you want. For logistics, it might make sense for some people to do it. And for other people, you might not want the hassle of like kind of worrying about two different locations because the loop is only a 7-kilometer loop to begin with. So you might not need to stop in between, but it's an option just for the 24-hour runner and the 100-mile runners. And the reason why it's only for the 24-hour and the 100-mile runners is because actually, I suppose the Gong Show participants could park there as well. But that's not really ideal for Gong Show participants who are really watching the clock, right? Because you have to be back in time for the gong. But you could do it as well. And the reason why we're only allowing certain distances is because this is part of the race course and we can't have people going in and out with their vehicles. So once you're parked there, we expect and set up your tent or set up whatever you want. We expect that you're staying there until you're leaving. And if you are leaving early, like if you're planning on staying for 24 hours, but you decide to pull the plug at 16 hours or 18 hours, then yeah, you can carefully leave that area. We just don't want you constantly going in and out.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, I got another question for you.
Yes.
Are 24 foot RVs too big for the parking?
24-foot RVs are you talking about for in the parking lot or for the overflow parking?
Well, I wouldn't put it in the overflow parking, to be perfectly honest. But just in the parking lot, there is that parking that we generally are asked not to use. That's for the horses. But
yeah, and they've said actually they've closed that parking lot permanently. Little lot. But yeah, 24 foot. We just simply don't have the parking available to handle that unless they are able to get into that overflow parking lot, which we've had 24-foot trailers in that parking lot before. If they want to park it up there, then that would be okay because it's out of the way. That's the best option.
So in the overflow,
park in the overflow parking if you have anything larger. Race course and markings. The course will be marked in a way that you would have to be trying to get lost or to go off course. It's very, very easy to follow. Lots of little flags, a million little directional arrows. And, for most of you, you're going to be running the same loop over and over and over again. So hopefully you don't get lost. This is a very easy one to follow. Drop bags. So we will have an area for your drop bags right at the start finish. There's also portable toilets right at the start finish. You don't even have to leave the course to access the portable toilets. It's right beside where you run through, and the drop bags will also be right in that area. So we'll have a couple tents set up. It does fill up fast. So if you're putting stuff in the drop bag area, please don't bring like a whole bunch of chairs and like an abundance of extra stuff
Hmm.
because this is for all participants to use, but your necessities will certainly fit in our drop bag area. Aid stations. Okay. So people often ask us how many aid stations there are. And I would say that depends on how long you're running for, because there's one every 7 kilometers. So if you're running 100 miles, then you have 24 aid stations, or 23 aid stations, I suppose. So the only aid station is at the start finish at 7 kilometers, but we also will have a drinks station, water station at about the 4 kilometer mark. So in previous years, the participants have had access to the tap where they could fill up their bottle, so they didn't really need to carry much. And we recognize the fact that now that we're moving our race start to right next to the tap, that would mean that participants would have to go the whole 7 kilometers. So we have added a water station at 4 kilometers. So you can fill up there. Aid station will be serving all your regular stuff and more. So we will be serving hot food in the evening and through the night. There will be a constant change in what we are serving. So you can count on the regular staples like peanut butter and jam, chips, cookies, Coke, ginger ale, fluid electrolyte drink, which is 100 calories per serving and is gluten-free. All of those regular things and other hot food items circulating and changing throughout the night. If you're really picky, I mean, you can bring your own stuff, leave it at your little tent if you have one, or in the drop bag area, you have access to all of that. But our aid station is pretty good. So the other thing is, please be extra nice to the volunteers. We couldn't put on this event or any event without them, so be nice. We're willing to put up with a lot, but we will not tolerate anyone disrespecting or harassing our volunteers. 99% of runners that we meet at the races are amazing, so friendly to the volunteers and make the volunteers feel special, which is important because they're very important members of the running community. Just don't be that other 1% that is rude to or argumentative with our volunteers. They have your best interest in mind. And with that being said, if there's anything that any of the volunteers or myself or Byron or Tina can do to make your experience better, to help you reach your goals, then don't hesitate to ask. That's what we're there for. Like all Happy Trails events and most trail races now, this is a cupless event. This is more of an issue for the 21K runners, really, who tend not to, a lot of them are not used to the idea of a cupless event. So if there's any 21-kilometer runners out there, keep in mind that you do have to have your own drinking vessel to fill up at the aid stations. If you forget your cup, we do have silicone collapsible cups for sale. If you forget yours, I want to say they're $5, which is like actually the cheapest you can get them anywhere. We're obviously not trying to make money off of that. We just want you to have something to drink out of. Tents I've already talked about. There is no alcohol in the Dundas Valley Conservation Area. Let's see what else we have. Food for your crew. Tons of restaurants in Dundas. Dundas has incredible eating opportunities. So take a drive into Dundas, and there's a surprising selection. Starbucks, Detour Coffee, Thirsty Cactus, Winchester Arms, the Collins, they're all popular restaurants. There's lots of vegan choices, sushi, pizza, McDonald's, Tim Hortons, pretty much everything that you could want. Sean and Ed's Brewery, if you want a post-race beverage. As I mentioned, toilets and porta potties, toilets/porta potties are at the start finish right in the headquarters. We are not using, there are indoor washrooms at the trail center, but we have been asked not to use them. They'll probably have a sign up saying it's not for event participants. They have had problems in the past with other races overusing their, creating some septic issues. Let's just say that. So we are not using the indoor facilities we are bringing in porta potties for this. So please respect that, and don't go inside to use their washrooms. Race swag, t-shirts, neck gaiters or buffs. You get a sticker as well. Pick up your race kit. You'll get a couple gels from THN Gels, and they will also be at the aid stations. If you haven't tried them, they're a tahini-based gel, which is basically tahini and a little bit of maple syrup and salt. In terms of additional Happy Trails merchandise, yep, we've got shirts and hoodies and hats and all sorts of stuff. We also have some the silicone cups and socks are a great thing to put on right after the race. They're very comfortable socks. Cash is preferred, but we can also accept e-transfer, no credit or debit at this time. Awards, we have top 3 male, female, and non-binary in all of our distances except for the Gong Show. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then we also have the top Masters runner and the top Grand Masters. So Masters is 40 to 60 and Grand Masters is 60 and up. So we'll be recognizing the top in each of the categories. The Gong Show, we do not have any awards other than first place male, first place man, first place woman, first place non-binary in the Gong Show. So all other participants, this is a question I've had a couple emails about this, so I'll address it real quick. There are no DNFs in timed events. So if you're signed up for the 24-hour race and you run one loop, you're still a finisher. You still get a finishing medal. So there isn't a set distance that you have to run unless you're doing the 7K, the 21K, the 100-mile, or the Gong Show. Those ones you have to complete the race in order to get your finisher's medal. And of course, if you reach 100 miles, we have beautiful belt buckles for you. Moving on.
Oh, before you do.
Yes.
I'm just going to ask some questions here.
Absolutely.
What's the deal with coffee for Tally in the Valley?
Heather, is Slow Roads coming?
I believe they're coming to this in Sticks.
Yes. Yeah, I'm almost certain that we have Amanda and Jay from Slow Roads Coffee Brewing coming to the race.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't, if they're not, which I'm almost sure that they are, but if they're not, then I'll brew my coffee, which is not nearly as good as their coffee.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's pretty awful, but it give you that little kick of caffeine anyways. So I'm almost certain that they are coming though. And their coffee is just incredible. They always have such a beautiful setup too. And they're great to chat with. And for the coffee nerds out there, talk to Jay. He loves to talk about it. He knows a lot about it. He's a good guy to talk to. And Amanda is as well. We also have
Eunice is saying they're coming.
They are coming.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So,
I thought they were. I thought they were coming to this and Sticks and Stones as well, a few of our races. So we've been very fortunate to have them. And the feedback on their coffee has been incredible. So we love having them there. And they keep Tina at registration caffeinated as well. So that they, if they make Tina happy, that makes me happy.
I'm just going to go through a couple questions here.
Okay, sure.
Just because they're here and I don't want to forget them later. Obviously, if you finish the Gong Show or 23 loops at the Gong Show, you get a buckle.
That's correct. Yeah. So the winners of the Gong Show, like the top male, top man, top woman, top non-binary, get a special Gong Show buckle.
Yeah.
That says Gong Show champion on it. But anybody who runs this weekend, anybody who runs 23 loops will receive a belt buckle. So that could be in the 24-hour race, the 100-mile race, or the Gong Show. Or, if someone's going for incredibly fast 12-hour and you run 100 miles, I'll be so impressed, but you'll also get a belt buckle.
Of course. Just about like spectators, where are good spots on the course for spectators? Like there's the rail trail, but there are other spots too, right? Like there's like at the road, like the access road. maybe at the corner of the parking lot, watching people go
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, I would say the best spots would be like obviously at race headquarters and anywhere along the rail trail, which is the first 2 kilometers.
Yeah.
They could also meet them at where the water station is going to be, which is in the corner of the parking lot. You'll be
Yeah.
able to see it from the parking lot. So that you'd see them at about 4 kilometers. You could also see them at as they run through the overflow parking area.
Yeah.
They run and they cross the road. So those are the best spots to see the runners. So they actually come really close to the main parking lot that we park in 3 different times during the loop.
Yeah.
They don't actually enter the parking lot, but they get close enough that you can see them from the parking lot. So I mean, ask any for spectators, ask any of the volunteers, and we'll be happy to direct you to a good spot.
Yeah. We of course the aid station's open overnight, but tell me, is the aid station better overnight, like in terms of the food that you get? Usually is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's you have hot food overnight.
Yeah.
During the day, I'm still planning on cooking up some treats during the day, but nighttime is when the aid station really comes alive, and the reason why is we know that that's when participants tend to be struggling the most through the night. So any little pick me up that we can offer, we're happy to do that. And at that point in the race, Byron, you've been there many times. I've been there many times. The littlest thing can really turn your race around, right?
Oh yeah, small things.
And I remember, I shouldn't go on sharing stories because I'll be here all night, but I remember a number of years ago when I was doing the Hellbender 100 miler, and I was in a really, really rough place. And I went into an aid station in the middle of the night, and I was actually ready to drop. And I think I was somewhere around 100 kilometers. And they made me a potato burrito. And they gave me a potato burrito and a cold non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
And it turned my race around. Like I actually was like a new person after that. So I know that, good aid station can make a big difference.
Oh, it usually does. There's one other one here that I said table for discussion. I just want to catch it because I swear I'll forget. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Oh yeah, okay. Just as a sort of an aside here, somebody asked for any tips or advice for someone for somebody's crew at that's doing the 100-mile.
Like how to be a good crew?
Yeah, I guess so. That's the way that I'd interpret this. Yeah. Or how to be a good crew, or any things they should know about perhaps for the Tally event, and how to best support their team or their runner.
Yeah, I mean, crew is for some people it's absolutely crucial for their race, and for other people they don't even have a crew. They don't need or want a crew. But crew, the biggest piece of advice that I could give to crew is that they also need to take care of themselves. And in order for them to be of any value to the runner that they're crewing, they first need to take care of themselves. And this is true for pacers as well, because if they don't take care of themselves, they're going to wear down as well, and they're not going to be as helpful to their runner. So just keep in mind that your runner is going to have highs and lows, and when they're having a low, it doesn't mean that it's going to stay low the whole time. That they'll probably fluctuate between feeling really good and feeling really bad, and then going back to feeling really good. So your job is to, first of all, priority number one is to keep your runner safe. Make sure that they're not taking any unnecessary risks. It's not worth risking your health, of course, but also most of the issues that they will come in contact with are usually minor issues based around fatigue or blisters or chafing. So be prepared to address those issues. And your job, other than keeping your runner safe and taking care of yourself, is try to get your runner in and out of the aid station as quickly as possible. Like the longer they stay in an aid station, life doesn't get any better when they're sitting there, right? Like it only gets harder to get going again. So spend a couple minutes, make sure that they they get what they need before they leave the aid station. But we've seen it countless times where a runner comes in feeling okay, and then they sit for too long, and then it just becomes like life is great when you're sitting in that chair, and it becomes really, really difficult to get out of that chair. And then you start to seize up and that sort of thing. So try to get your runner everything that they need, and show them that you care, but get them on their way. That's the best advice that I could give.
Yeah, sounds good.
Any other
That's
questions,
good.
or should I keep going?
I think we should keep going. And finish at the train station. Yeah. Somebody says here, Jeff, you are so damn punny.
I'm so what?
Damn punny.
Punny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
I'm a dad and a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so share/respect/ wild animals. So you're going to be sharing the trail with other users of the trail. Is not closed to us. The rail trail can be very busy, especially if it's nice weather, which it looks like it might be. So just respect the trail, respect each other, respect other people using it. And unfortunately, there are a lot of cyclists that are going to whip by you going 40 kilometers an hour on the rail trail. Just be mindful that there will be people riding quite quickly on the rail trail.
Mhm.
So we're sharing the trail. So absolutely no littering. Make your presence known. So if you're passing somebody, just simple on your left, let them know. But you will be disqualified if you're found purposely littering on any part of the trail. So leave no trace. Again, I'm going to say it for the second time now. Pack out what you pack in. So any garbage that you bring into the race, or any items that you bring, please take with you. In terms of wildlife, if you're running through the night, there's a very good chance that you'll see raccoons or possums. You will probably hear coyotes, but won't see them. Lots of deer in the Dundas Valley. You'll be sharing the trail with them. Skunks as well, so be mindful of the skunks. Turkey, that's pretty much it. Those of you running at night will most likely see something, or you will hear them, but you're most likely to see raccoon and deer. That's it. I'd be very surprised if you saw a coyote. They're certainly there, but they're very apprehensive of getting near humans. There are also flying squirrels in the Dundas Valley. I've only had the pleasure of seeing one ever, but it's the forest there is a very unique forest. It's a Carolinian forest with lots of unique species, and the flying squirrel is probably the coolest one there. So very small, and you're only really going to see them at night because they are nocturnal. So Dundas Valley, as I said before, they've been excellent to work with and very accommodating. So if you see any conservation staff, thank them for the opportunity to run there. Like a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Road crossing. There is only one road crossing on the course, and it's within the conservation area. So you basically you're crossing through the driveway to the parking lot. So it's not busy, but just look both ways and be mindful of vehicles. Photography, again, like we do at all of our events, we'll have the amazing Sue Sitke. She likes it when you wear bright colors. Bib on the front, please, so that she can see it, and so that she can organize the photos afterwards. So you can look up find your photos by bib. She also uses some interesting software where you can find your photos by uploading a selfie of yourself, and it will show you all of your photos. So she does a fantastic job. If anybody can make you look good, it is Sue. Live stream. Byron, do you want to talk about the live stream, or do you want me to?
You could talk about it. I mean, we're going to have the live stream there. We'll be broadcasting. We're going to have to split it over hold on. Maybe 3 links, because YouTube only allows you to save 12 hours at a time. So I have to do that. But we're gonna
tells me that it would be 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. I don't I have a hard time with arithmetic. It's not
Numbers,
my
yeah.
strength. Numbers, yeah. So three of those little links, and I'm gonna try to do like a fireside chat. So we'll have a little like session where we'll chitty chat about the folks that are out there running, and invite anybody to come sit down with us
Yeah.
and
And take advantage of that.
chat.
Like,
Yeah,
if you want to say, if you have kids at home, or if you want to give a shout out to somebody,
yeah,
come. We love that. Like, we love it if you come over
definitely.
and give a shout out to people who might be watching the live stream, and especially if you're coming from another country, or you have people, family members on vacation somewhere, they can check it out even after the fact.
Yes.
Yeah, like we get a lot of views on our feeds afterwards, right? The videos after the races, we get a lot.
It really
Yeah, and Byron, I got to say, your live stream game has improved tremendously over the last year,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
it's something else now. Like, Byron really does a great job with his small team that he's got, and it's pretty cool to watch. So definitely check out the live stream if you get an opportunity. Yeah. Anything else about that, Byron?
Yeah, that's really it.
Okay. So La Sportiva will be on site with their fleet of trial running shoes. This is a perfect race to try out a pair. Like, you're running 7-kilometer loops, so you can in between loops you can throw on a pair of La Sportivas and give them a little bit of a test drive. They're great. They really are great shoes. We wouldn't have them if they weren't. We don't get anything in return for having La Sportiva. It's just we get to give away a couple pairs of shoes, and we get to have our participants test out the shoes. That's the only advantage that we have. We don't get any sort of kickback, just like we don't with anyone. Our electrolyte drink, we pay for our electrolyte drink. We use Fluid because we think it's great. It's very mild tasting. So hopefully you like it. We do have a new flavor this year of electrolyte drink. It's raspberry lemonade or strawberry lemonade. Either way, it's delicious. It's typically that and blueberry pomegranate, and we've been getting great feedback on I want to say raspberry lemonade.
You're talking about the electrolyte drink, right?
Yeah,
Fluid.
Fluid.
I did have a question about that, so that's good.
Okay.
Thank you. By the way, just since you're on the electrolyte drink, you're gonna have potatoes at the aid station.
Yeah. Plan is to have potatoes. Yes.
And we're gonna talk about the Gong Show at some point, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk specifically about the Gong Show towards the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So we will be giving out, we're actually giving away 3 pairs of running shoes, because we're going to give away 2 pairs of La Sportiva shoes to participants who visit the La Sportiva booth and fill out a ballot. We'll give away 2 pairs of shoes. And then, of course, 1 pair for the best dressed, the best costume. Recovery zone. So we have cold plunge happening this year. So it's going to be pretty cool. We have cold plunge and yoga. So this is what Kevin from the Trail Yogi, who a lot of you know, he said Trail Yogi and Cool Dip recovery will be on site. Don't forget to bring your bathing suit and a towel so that you can take the plunge and give your body a level up in recovery. Cold weather immersion and post-run stretch can help reduce muscle soreness, speed recovery, boost mood, and leave you feeling energized and mentally refreshed. Absolutely, all of these things are true. And we will also be having massage therapists there on Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we originally had them scheduled for Saturday morning. It just didn't make sense logistically because, participants, no race would be finishing at that time. So 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday. So hopefully you enjoy the cold plunge. Great opportunity to cool down if you start to overheat in the middle of the day, which 27 degrees, and it'll probably feel more like 30 or 31 or 32. Okay, so here's an important thing that I need to talk about, and the weather looks like it's going to be good, but we do have to have a contingency plan for rain to make sure that the trails don't get damaged. So many of you might know or might remember a few years ago, I think it might have been 2023 or 2024, we had horrendous rain, like the entire race pretty much. It was torrential and the trail got pretty beat up. So we made the decision Wasn't super popular at the time, but then in hindsight, people recognized that it was for the safety of the runners as well as the protection of the trail. I did a quick reroute mid race, so people had to, we didn't cancel anything, but they just had to spend a little bit longer on the rail trail, which although it wasn't super popular at first, it gave the trail an opportunity to dry out, and we eventually went back to the trail once it was safe again for participants to use. And when we went back to the trail, people who had gotten used to that rail trail section were like, "Oh no, we liked the rail trail. It's faster kilometers, easier kilometers," which is absolutely true. But we do have a reroute plan in place if the trails start to get really beat up with rain, which, as I mentioned, we do not anticipate that happening at all. But just in case we do, we have a 7-kilometer reroute, which is entirely different than the Tallinn. It shares the start finish, but the entire trail would be on like the gravel trails in the Dundas Valley Conservation Area, as well as a little bit of like country road. So we don't anticipate using that, but in case of emergency, we do have a plan to protect the trails and to maintain our relationship with the conservation area. This is something that they do require of us now. So if that does have to happen, which, like I said, we don't anticipate that, please respect the fact that, of course, this is not what anybody wants. It's a way to be able to continue with the race in poor conditions. So of course, it's not ideal for anybody, but I'm sure that probably not this year, but I'm sure 1 year in the future, we will have to go back to doing that. And when race directors have to make that decision to reroute or to cancel or to pause the race, that's a very difficult decision. But we do have to think about the safety of the runners. And, for those of you who ran Conquer the Canuck this year, they had to put a pause during a severe storm, and they just handled that with so much grace, and like they handled it perfectly. And I think everybody understood that it was for the safety of the runners. So just be understanding in all races. Of course, we never want to do that. I talked about the end of the race, extra kilometers. And for the final time, I'm going to say, bring your garbage out with you, anything that you bring in. And the last thing that I have to talk about before I get to any questions that you have. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat now, because I'm going to be done in like 2 minutes. I'm just going to talk briefly about the gong show. So the gong show, you'll have a special tent with the gong. You have to be there every hour on the hour. Or you're eliminated. Sorry, Byron?
That was one of the questions. Are there hard, fast rules?
With the gong show?
With the gong
Absolutely.
show. Yeah.
With the gong show, again, it's awful when we can physically see the person 100 meters away sprinting to get through in time.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. We don't want to have to say, sorry, you're eliminated. But in order to maintain the race, like the way that it's supposed to be, the integrity of the race, with the gong show, anybody who's run Happy Trails races know that we are super flexible with cutoffs all the time, and we extend it all the time and make exceptions for people. The gong show, we do not. If you are 1 second late, you are eliminated, unfortunately. It's the last thing that I want to do. It's the last thing I want to do. But for the integrity of the race, you need to be at the start finish. Also, if you get there 10 minutes before the hour and you go off to your crew tent or whatever, and you're not back there, even if you finish 10 minutes before, you're still eliminated. You need to be at the gong when the gong is struck. You need to be there or you are eliminated. So do that. Now, I often get questions about washroom. What if I need to use the washroom and you're in the gong show? So here's a rule that a lot of people often forget, and that is you need to be in the tent or at the gong when it is struck. That doesn't mean you need to start your loop right away. You can hang out there, wait till the start of the loop, and then you can go use the washroom or go back to your tent. As long as you're back again by the hour, that's fine. You don't have to start running right away. But if you're, as soon as you're not there, you are out. And I forgot to mention, but last year we started using Polaroid pictures of all of our members of the Gong Show and the 100-mile race, and we're going to do that as well for the 24-hour race. So the 24-hour race, the Gong Show, and the 100-mile race, we are going to take a Polaroid picture of you and post it on a board. And it's a great opportunity for us to, first of all, learn everybody's name so that we can refer to you by name, because we'll write your name under it. And then also in the Gong Show, my favorite thing to do, well, my favorite thing in theory, but when I actually have to do it, I feel bad. But I like, in theory, when somebody gets eliminated from the Gong Show, ripping their picture off of the board and handing it to them. You've been eliminated. Everybody is welcome to take their picture with them at the end of the race. You can take that home, pull it off of the board, and take it home with you as a little bit of a souvenir in case you want a super, super low quality picture of you, because that's what they are. Sue will take beautiful photos of you. I will take garbage photos with a overpriced Polaroid camera. Byron, any questions for me?
We covered some of these questions, and so I'm just answering them off again. We don't have a charging station for phones or anything like that.
Well, let me just say something. We do not have a charging station for a phone, but in the last 100-miler I did in April, my phone died, and I went to an aid station, and I said my phone died, and I was doing it out and back, and they charged my phone for me, and I was like, "You guys are the best. This is like best aid station ever." Yeah. So if you have a cord, or if we have a cord that fits, we do have some power banks, and I would be happy in case of an emergency to charge your device. Now, Byron, you mentioned before questions about like generators or battery packs or power. And so no, we do not have, we can't provide you with power to anything. So don't count on being able to plug in. There is a plug that we need to use for the race, for like timing, for live stream, and for the inflatable arch. So you need to bring a power bank or something. And no, we cannot have, participants cannot bring generators. So you have to have like some type of battery power bank.
Yeah. They have those really big battery powered generators.
Yeah.
Can I set up a tent Friday morning? So the tents should only really be set up during
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock
PM
on
Friday.
Because
and I will say that that's important, because the conservation area, the superintendent that I deal with, the team there, they did like reiterate that, like, you know, the park is being used at this time of year. It's quite heavily used. So we have allotted that time from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So we ask that you please do not set anything up before 5 o'clock. Everything for us is maintaining a positive relationship with the conservation area, and we don't want to do anything to risk that. So please respect the fact that they don't want anything set up before 5 o'clock.
You can't say you feel bad when you're laughing. That's a bit.
Yeah, like I mean, I think it's funny before it actually has to happen, but then anybody who knows me knows that I am actually a compassionate person, and I feel awful having to like pull somebody out of the race.
I don't feel awful.
No, you don't. And Tina doesn't.
Should we bring coyote spray? I've never had any troubles with coyotes personally, but
is that a thing? Coyote spray? I've never heard of that. No, I've been running I've been hiking, biking, running in the Dundas Valley literally for over 40 years. And I have seen coyotes maybe 4 or 5 occasions. And that's only when I've been alone, and usually in the winter. The chances of you seeing a coyote are very, very slim. Like, you might hear them, but you do not need to. This isn't like Stanley Park in BC, where the coyotes have, become so accustomed to people that they're stealing food off of them and biting them.
Yeah.
The coyotes in the Dundas Valley are very timid.
Yeah.
And yes, that's my dog wearing a diaper right there because he's been having some accidents.
Uh-oh. For the Gong Show, do we do like a 2-minute or 1-minute warning? We generally do. I thought we scream it out. Hey, everybody, come on.
We generally do.
Yeah.
We generally do, but sometimes I forget because I get busy. So don't count on that. But I will absolutely do my best. And I think that Byron is Sherry kind of doing does she have the reins of the Gong Show in the night? Is that what we decided on?
Yeah. Well, I think that's what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sherry's going to be kind of in charge of the gong in the night so that I can, I always say I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep and I never do.
Yeah.
But she's much better at giving those warnings and that sort of thing. So I'm sure you're in good hands with her.
From for like people that want to go to their cars during the race or Gong Show, that's really not realistic unless they park their car at the overflow.
Right.
Because then it's right on the trail and they can just sort of pop into their car during the loop. But trying to get to the parking lot from the start finish,
no, that wouldn't be. And also in order for you to do that, you're leaving the course, right? Which we don't want anybody leaving. We don't want anyone leaving the course, and we certainly don't want anyone walking through the parking lot during the race. So yeah.
So then it says here, for the special 100-mile setup area, how much off the 7-kilometer loop will we need to go to see our crew? I mean, not at all, really.
You're not off it at all. You're actually on the course.
Yeah.
Like they run right through there. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a perfect spot for somebody who wants to set up a way either because they don't want to carry all of their stuff to race headquarters down the trail, or they want a slightly less busy area because in addition to all of the participants, the trail center gets a lot of users, right? Like visitors visiting the trail center during the day. So that will be kind of a little bit of a quieter, laid back, low key area.
Yeah. Are there going to be tariffs imposed about the air quality?
Are there going to be what?
Tariffs imposed about the air quality. Now that's just a joke, but is there a contingency plan for air quality?
Well, we'll be keeping track of the air quality. It's looking like it's going to be good. We've been keeping an eye on it, but certainly we follow the Athletics Ontario guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it's going to be an issue, but we will be very transparent about any things that we're thinking about air quality. Full disclosure, if the race was on Thursday that just passed, we would have had to have canceled the race. With that, it's not worth the health risk, or it's a very unfortunate situation, but it's out of our control. But at this point, it's looking like things have drastically improved and are only going to be getting better.
Yeah, exactly. This is a really good question. Is there accessible parking? My dad is her crew, has a scooter. He knows in some races I've done just walked do it slow, but in case there are any. So I mean, I'm not really sure what the capability of the scooter is, but they could get up to the train area.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's just on the driveway. It's the roadway to it.
Yeah.
It's not a smooth road, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But again, they could go to the overflow area and wait there, or if it's an electric scooter, they can certainly. The gate will be closed, so vehicles can't get down there during the race because runners go right down the roadway to the start finish.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why a scooter couldn't get down there.
Yeah. Okay. And what will the cost of coffee? Coffee is usually like the Slow Roads. They generally offer it free to the runners and volunteers. But do you know if there's any cost? What the cost would be for other folks?
So Happy Trails covers all of the costs for
Okay.
everybody, for
Yeah.
participants, for spectators. We get billed afterwards for the cost of the coffee, and we happily pay that.
Yeah.
And they're very reasonable with us. They also will be selling bags of their coffee, which goes directly to them. I mean, you
Yeah.
just pay them through their Stripe thing,
That's
whatever it
right.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, free for participants, free for spectators. Yeah.
So then we don't provide a change room.
So actually, this year I have purchased 2 very small, very compact, collapsible change rooms. So there
Okay.
are going to be right by the porta potties. That's a great question. It's like somebody set me up for that question.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just happened to. So yeah, we bought a couple. We actually had them out at Foxdale. I don't know if anybody used them because our signage wasn't really good, and I don't think people even knew what they were.
Yeah.
So basically, we have 2 little change rooms, and I'll make sure I have signs on them that's what they're there for.
Okay.
It's just enough room to change inside. They're not huge, but yeah, certainly get the job done.
In terms of live tracking, there's the Chip Time results posts the results in real time, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the if you're on site, you'll be able to grab the QR code there,
Otherwise,
or
they just go to chiptimeresults.com and they can look at
Yeah.
the live tracking for tallying the valley. Now, sometimes they usually leave their system running during the night, but they'll go home. We don't expect them to be there for 24/7 for us. And then so if there's any questions or anything, we just deal with that in the morning, and they fix any problems that they have. So sometimes it goes down a little bit in the middle of the night, but usually it's pretty accurate for
Yeah.
the entirety of the race.
Yeah. The 12-hour day race, is there anywhere else where they can set up their tents?
Other than race headquarters?
Yeah.
No, race headquarters is the only spot, but it is a long area. It's a long stretch where they can set stuff up. Like, because
Right.
it goes right from when you get before the trail center, as soon as you hit the grass,
Yeah.
all the way along the whole side of the rail trail. So you have like probably a couple hundred meters to set up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of space. Now, like I said, like we would love to have the 12-hour people up in that area, the overflow area, but that would mean that there's going to be a lot of traffic leaving
Yeah.
in the evening when runners are still using that.
Yeah. I got 2 questions for the Gong Show.
Okay.
So outside of the rules of no generators or no alcohol, are there any other sort of base camp tents rules, or any rules for base camp tents?
Like a 10 by 10 is the max.
10 by 10?
Pardon me?
And I'm just repeating what you're saying.
10 by 10 tent is the maximum size. And if they're playing music, do it at a respectful volume so that you're not blasting music.
And
But
you're not
no,
competing with mine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, other than that, like whatever you feel,
Yeah.
if you feel like it's reasonable, we probably feel like it's reasonable. I will say, at this race, I think because it's short loops and the participants are back at their tents so frequently, there is a tendency for people to, like, I'm not making any judgments here, but there's a tendency for people to like go crazy with the amount of stuff that they bring.
Yeah.
And like 90% of that stuff goes unused, and then a lot of it, like cases of water and cases of Gatorade, getting left behind.
Mhm. Seen that. Yeah.
And cases of, like last year, cases of Coke and like stuff like that. So just remember, everything that you bring in, you also have to bring out when you're way more tired than you are when you're setting up.
That's
right.
right.
So yeah, just think about that. Just
There are no pacers for the Gong Show runners,
there's no pacers for the Gong Show. Absolutely
but
not.
they
No,
can use poles.
they can use poles. Yep. Yeah, you can use polls. There's no pacers for the 6 hour. There's no pacers for the gong show, 7K, 21K, no pacers. And we prefer that the 12-hour day don't have pacers. 12-hour night are allowed to have pacers. Anyone over the age of 65 is allowed to have a pacer at any point during the race. Yeah, other than that, pacers are allowed to start anytime after 9:00 p.m.
Yeah. Okay.
And only
I'm
one
just
pacer-
actually finally reading
Only
my,
one pacer at a time.
Yeah.
You can have as many pacers as you want, but only one at a time. Only one on the course at a time. And of course, pacers, you got to take care of your pacers. Pacers are welcome to eat at our aid stations. And I know a lot of I'll be standing there and see pacers not eating and or going back to their tent to eat. No, you are a very important part of the race.
Yeah.
We recognize that. Yes, help yourself to food at the aid station.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just looking at my text messages too, because I'm getting some of those. But yeah, I think that's pretty much. I think we covered everything. If I didn't catch something here, please by all means pop it up in the chat, and then I'll catch it. But I think I covered everything that came through. That was yeah, that was pretty good. Hey, yes. Is that everything then, Jeff?
Yeah, I got a text as well. I got a text from Maria Line, who's the race director of Conquer the Canuck, saying, "Yeah, thanks for the shout out when she had to pause the race," which she really did do a fantastic job with that, and it's a very, very tough decision to have to make. And yeah, I commend her on doing that. Yeah, that was a lot. That race was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that's all from my point of view. I'm going to be.
We just got another one here. Bring out garbage.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but whatever you bring in, you got to bring out. Okay? Don't leave garbage. Like true story. Last year at the end of the race, there were so much garbage. And like I have a big pickup truck, but it would have been 3 full loads in my pickup truck, and then the dump's not even open on Sunday. So I literally would have had to take that home, drop it on my driveway, go back 20 minutes, drop it on my driveway, and come and get a third load. And instead, what I ended up having to do was it cost me like $800 to hire 1-800-GOT-JUNK or something like that. And they had to come and get it because I needed that garbage gone right away in order to maintain our relationship with the conservation area. So we had to have a company come in last year. There was so much garbage. So we absolutely want to avoid that. In previous years at most Happy Trails races, we have very, very little garbage, and we pride ourselves in the fact that it's very little waste. And that's something we've worked really hard at. But last year, like I said, I think because it's short loops, people, bring everything that they own to this race, which you're welcome to do. You're welcome to do that. You're absolutely welcome.
Please take it with
Just
you.
bring it with you at the end.
Any chance we can hear the gong a bit early? I don't think so.
Like how early? Like now? It's still in the storage unit down the road. But yeah, maybe that's how we'll start the 100-mile race with the gong this year as well. The banging of the gong.
Yeah, that'll be the early morning. Otherwise, it's right on the hour every hour.
That's right. And we typically have guest gongers. So like very famous people. Like I think we're gonna have Drake this year bang the gong, and I don't know who else could we have.
Isn't Bieber coming?
Michael Jordan's coming to bang the gong, maybe. No, but we have had past winners, and we have like children of participants who were in the gong show bang the gong. And really anybody who really wants to bang the gong, we let them bang the gong.
That's right. We've had some of the participants' kids come out and do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, that's it for me. I have cleared my inbox for the first time in a very long time. My email inbox has been cleared. and it's going to be really difficult for me to get to emails between now and the race, because basically from this point forward, other than golf tee time tomorrow morning, my week is dedicated to this race, and it's a lot of setup. So be patient. If you send an email, I'll do my best to get to it, but there's a chance that I won't even see it until after the race.
There is one plug I want to make, and that is that we do have some volunteer spots open still. And so if you know somebody that wants to come help out,
yeah, absolutely. And this is a great way for high school students to get their community service hours that they require in Ontario.
Yeah.
If you have crew members that, are going to be there anyways, maybe they can do it like a 4-hour volunteer stint, or spouses or friends or anybody who's going to be at the race anyways.
Yeah.
They of course get, aside from a really cool volunteer shirt, they get a 50% off their next Happy Trails race. Volunteer twice, you get a free race. So, and besides that, it's actually very fun. It really is fun. Most of our volunteers come back and volunteer time and again, because it's a great opportunity. It's a good experience for them.
Yeah.
So we would love it. And what if they do volunteer, Byron? If they have somebody who wants to volunteer, how do they do that?
There's a website that I like to send people to, because I don't want to do the work, and
they can access it. They can access it from our webpage, right? From Happy Trails Racing.
You can
There's
access
a volunteer section where click on Tally in the Valley volunteer, and it'll show you what spots are available.
Yeah, and I just popped it in the chat too. So
awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we'll conclude it there then. So
thanks, everybody.
3 seconds, I'm going to hit end.
See you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Sunday.
Woo. Okay. Bye. Okay, that went really well.
Great. Yeah, I thought it went well.